What's up, guys? In today's video we're going to be doing a Blox Fruits fruit tier list. So just to start this off, I want to say I hope all of you had a great Christmas. I know it's a little bit past Christmas, coming up on New Year's, but I hope you guys did have a great Christmas and spent a lot of time with your family members. And sorry I have not posted in about a week. I've been pretty busy with some family stuff, and I'm recording on my PC. I finally got a PC. In case you guys didn't know, I was recording on Xbox, and your boy finally built the PC, so this is the first recording on a PC. If you guys enjoy this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any questions for me, make sure to join my Discord in the description below. But before I start moving fruits around, I just want to say I'm going to try to be as objective as possible and only use facts in this tier list. So again, it is a tier list of mine. It's my tier list, so obviously it's going to be slightly influenced by my opinions, but I'm going to try to make it as objective as possible. Let's get into it. I feel like the most important aspect of this game is PvP, because what are you getting all this stuff for? What are you making all these builds for, right? PvP. That is the main focus of the game, in my opinion. I mean, I guess there's like PvE to relax and whatnot, but the competitive aspect of this game is just PvP. So as a 30 mil with every perm in the game and a ton of PvP experience, this is just going to be my tier list. But yeah, moving on. Barrier. For PvP, it's pretty bad, I'm not going to lie. It's pretty bad. I mean, I've seen like some combos with God, Human, Spiky Trident, and some weird barrier stuff, but for PvP, it's just, it's barrier. Okay, Chop. Now, before I get flamed in the comments, yeah, Chop is good. And why am I putting the second or third least expensive fruit, or third least expensive fruit in the game at good tier? One reason. There's a very good fruit in the game, and that called Portal, which relies on sword stats. Now, what happens when you take away those sword stats? The fruit is pretty much useless. So, not only did the rework pretty much do it some good justice, I've seen some really nice combos with Spiky Trident, but it counters all sword builds. It's immune to swords. So I feel like this fruit plays probably one of the best roles in the game within its own respective category in PvP. It being able to counter swords not only is awesome because it's lore accurate, but it's so good. It's actually so good. Okay, moving on though. Yeah, this would be a cook tier list if I put if I put Blizzard below Chop, but I'm sorry. It's just what it is. Chop plays its role well. Blizzard doesn't have movement. It has okay spammy moves. That little domain is nice. There's not a whole lot of combos you can do with it. I might as well put it in meh, but just to respect the fruit, I'm gonna put it in okay, because it's okay. Bomb's trash. I'm not gonna lie. Bomb is not very good. There's really not much to say to it. That little explosion move is okay, I guess, but in PvP, it's just not really viable. Okay, moving on to Buddha. Buddha's alright, okay. Do I think it's better than Blizzard? Yeah, probably. But is it anywhere near the top? No, not at all. Why? Why is that, you guys ask? Here's the thing. Buddha's hitbox is basically the size of Dragon. And Dragon's only as good as it is because the fruits have crazy AoE and it can fly around, fly in the sky. Buddha is a jumping, walking V4 charge. There is no fruit in the game besides like Buddha that will help you get your V4 faster in PvP. No transforming, going V4 in 1v1s is scummy, but those people are everywhere. And against Buddhas, I'm not gonna lie, I don't care. I'm popping V4 on every single Buddha just because it's disgusting. The only liable thing I can think about is like, or reliable thing I can think about is maybe like CDK Mink, Pilot Helmet, God Human maybe? I don't know. There's not a whole lot of people that can do much with Buddha for PvP, but moving on. See, Control I would say is okay, but I'm gonna put it in meh just because that room is essential, right? And someone can just choose to not fight in the room. It's literally that simple. If they don't want to fight you, they're not going to. And even if you do hit them with a combo, I don't think there's any Control one-shot combos in the game unless it's like a 30 mil versus a 2.5, which are stats and whatnot. But with the stat buffs, the bounty buffs. You have to push it room, and it doesn't have mobility, so it's a pretty difficult fruit. Alright, now going on to Dark. Dark is actually pretty decent for PvP. The only thing is, I will say it is very ground reliant. So besides the pole move, there are a ton of moves on Dark that are super good. Especially that one skill is very bad. But the Ghostly Step is kind of nice. It's like an extra flash step though. I will say that. Alright, Diamond. Diamond is actually really nice right now. Just because of the damage reduction and that new move, it's looking pretty reliable. I'm not going to lie. The fruit is actually looking pretty good. Dough. Let's see. Dough has been one of the best fruits in the game since the fruit has been released. Not only does it not have a mode timer, but it has a pretty much guaranteed one-shot combo unless they're Ken tricking with a CDK, God Human. It's just, Dough has great combo starting, great range, an ult that does ton of damage, a mini ult that does ton of damage. You can combo extend off the ult. Like, it is just an overall great fruit. Dough right now, despite all the nerfs, is still pretty busted, I will say. Okay, moving on. Falcon, we're not even going to discuss it. It's just not good for PvP. Flame's pretty good though. I would give it okay, but it's kind of skill ceiling capped. There's not a whole lot to it. It's just kind of spammy. But it's actually surprisingly, it's a good fruit for PvP. The V2 is pretty nice. I've seen some pretty nice combos with Spiky Trident and God Human, but other than that, Flame doesn't really have a whole lot to it. Gas just coming out is actually a very good fruit, like surprisingly. I mean, well, I shouldn't say surprisingly because it's new and most new fruits are pretty good, but yeah, gas is just pretty good. I've seen some nice combos with it in base, and the mode also is really good as well. So definitely don't sleep on gas. Gas is a good fruit right now. Moving on though to Ghost, that second life is actually really nice. I'm gonna put it right underneath Buddha because I don't think it's like great for PvP. Okay, I didn't mean to put Chop in bad, but yeah, I don't think it's great for PvP. But that second life can be clutch, and the moves are pretty nice as well. Moving on though, Gravity. I'm not gonna lie, I would put it in trash, but I'm not gonna do it that bad. No. Yeah, I guess I'll put it in bad because there's some nice combos with Gravity Cane. I've seen some nice little clips on TikTok. If you guys know what I'm talking about, some nice clips on YouTube Shorts. Gravity's actually decent for PvP. I'm not gonna lie. It's okay. I mean, I'd say it's bad, but it's not like worse than these right here. But yeah, there's not really much to it. It's just kind of Gravity. Okay, now Ice. Ice is actually a good fruit. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in good. Ice is definitely a good fruit. I will say it is good for the sole reason of the stun. Along with Chop, Chop plays a specific role, and Ice also plays a specific role. Ice's role is stun, however, it's not going any higher than good, just because you have to be on the ground for them to hit you. Like, if you're not on the ground, that Ice is not touching you, and you're not getting comboed, and there's no value. So, Ice you can't really have fruit stats on, but it's still good when they're on the ground. Okay, moving on to Leopard. Leopard, it will probably hit the bottom of very good. I'm not gonna lie. In this meta, Leopard is not that good. Like, why would you ever pick Leopard over? Where's Kit? Is Kit even on this tier list? Why isn't Kit here? What in the world? At the end of this video, I guess I'll just use something as a substitute for Kit. But as of now, Kit is not here. But overall, I do think it's probably like top 3, top 5 fruits in the game. Kit. But why would you ever use Leopard when you can just use Kit? Kit is basically Leopard on steroids. Better movement, better AoE, better damage, better everything, better mode, better whatnot. I mean, the only thing that Leopard has that Kit doesn't is an infinite mode. I'm not even sure if Kit has an infinite mode. I mean, I don't know. I know it did on release, or it didn't on release. I don't know if it's still like that now. But even though the speed nerfs got hit, it doesn't do a whole lot to it. Kit is still great. Still spammy, still as annoying as it was when it came out, only rivaling Portal. And moving on to Light. Light is it's meh, it's okay. Somehow the fastest fruit in the entire One Piece verse is still somehow slower than West Dragon, but we're gonna ignore that, I guess. Or no, we're not actually gonna ignore that. That's why I'm putting in meh, because it just I know for grinding it probably is one of the best fruits in the game, but for PvP, Light is not good at all. Okay, now we have love. Love is going below control. It is one of the most annoying fruits in the game. I'll give it that. You kind of just fly around and harass people. I don't think you'll be getting any kills or bounty from it, but it is an annoying fruit. I will give it that. There's not a whole lot to it, but it's just pretty much that. Now, magma for PvP is very bad. I'm gonna leave it down here. Actually, no, I'll give it bad, but it's still pretty bad for PvP. Although it does a crazy amount of damage, you are just not hitting any of those moves on anyone unless they're like standing still on AFK or something. Magma's not very good for PvP. The only thing I could think of making it work is like Gravity Cane or Spiky Trident with like God Human or maybe even Sanguine. I'm not sure. But moving on, we have Mammoth. Mammoth is actually pretty good right now. I'm gonna put it in good. It has an infinite mode, great AoE moves, and surprisingly good movement. Mammoth, although it is one of the worst mythics for trading, it's a good fruit right now. You'd be surprised. I've seen some Mammoths actually rival Dragon just because of that damage reduction. But yeah, Mammoth is okay. Mammoth is in a good spot right now. I'll say that for sure. Now we got Paw. Paw's meh. Definitely nothing special. Doesn't have any movement. I don't suggest using fruit stats on it. I've seen some really good players like 60 mils use hybrid with it and do some pretty tricky stuff, but just for the value of the fruit, like what you get, you can't just put on the fruit and get instant value. It's not, Paw's not like that. Can't lie. Alright, moving on, we got Phoenix though. Phoenix is like, okay. Remember how I was saying love flies around and it's super annoying? Think of that, but on crack. Phoenix is like love, but it can heal, infinite mode, and I mean, yeah, there's not really much to it. Phoenix is just super annoying. I don't think you'll be like getting any consistent combos with it. I know I have a friend of mine, Leopard, who's actually surprisingly good with Phoenix, but the fruit overall is just not enough to be fighting with these top tiers. Okay, is ice up here crazy? I don't think it is. Its stun is really good, so I'm gonna leave it there. Okay, moving on to our now second busted fruit of the video, Portal. Portal, in my opinion, has been the best fruit in the game for a very long time, up until Dragon has released. Portal is just the best movement fruit in the game. The V move is extremely annoying, huge AoE, and then if you combo them and you don't kill them, they just run. Then they get all their health back, and then they'll come back in a safe zone. So, best runner fruit in the game, best movement fruit in the game, best AoE, probably fruit in the game, the V move, and then you just come out of it with Soul Guitar, you get your full combo, and it's pretty much wraps. Portal is so stupid. I'd say Portal probably in total got me maybe 10 mil bounty. It's so dumb. Portal is by far the most annoying fruit in the game. It's like Mink V4 compacted into a fruit and then telling you, okay, yeah, go fight that, have fun with that. And then sprinkle a little bit of AoE into it, and it just sucks. Nobody likes to fight a Portal. Nobody. And the reason Chop is so high is literally because of that reason. And its new rework is kind of nice too, but yeah. Moving on, we got Quake. Quake is probably worse than Ghost, but it's a nice fruit. I mean, the AoE on it is pretty nice. Its moves are also nice. Same case with Ice, except it's like worse than Ice because its moves are also ground reliant, but it doesn't have stun. So that is it for Quake. It's just gonna be there. Onto Rocket. Rocket's not good. We're not gonna talk about it. It is literally just, it's Rocket. It's the least expensive fruit in the game. What do you guys expect? Moving on though, we have Rubber. Rubber is also a very bad fruit for PvP. Not a ton of combos with it. I mean, this is about the best I could do with it until if they added Gear 5 to the game, that would be amazing. But yeah, Rubber is just in a difficult spot right now, to say the least. And now we have Rumble. Now, Rumble is probably one of the most skilled fruits in the game, believe it or not. Now, I'm going to put Rumble probably at the top of very good. In my opinion, Rumble has one of the, I know I just said this, but Rumble has one of the highest skill ceilings in the game. And in case you guys don't know what that means, that's basically saying the fruit is only as good as you are good. So if you're super good at the game, Rumble can be like easily one of the best fruits. Like Rumble can even in some cases fight, I was going to say Dragon, but that's just not true. It can rival Portal is basically what I'm saying. So a brain dead Portal spammer who is just like pretty not good at the game but just gets value out of spamming Portal would lose to a super skilled Rumble. Now if you know anyone at all that's super good at the game, you know that at one point they've at least used Rumble, Soul Cane, Acidium Rifle, superhuman, and they're just like crazy good with Mink V4 or something. But Rumble is just a great fruit. It's really good. The 2 skill on it, the little thunder stuff that comes down, has to take a lot of precision. The dashes, you have to manage them very well so you don't run out of them in time, and you can use them to jump on your opponent or run away. The fruit doesn't, I mean, you can run away with it, but not to the effectivity of like Portal or something. Rumble is just a great movement fruit. You can go to hybrid, you can do fruit stats, you can do sword stats, you can do whatever you want. In my opinion, hybrid stats is the way to go with Rumble, but that's just me, that's my preference. Going on to another fruit, which hot take of the video actually. I think sand is probably the highest skill ceiling fruit in the entire game. I don't think I could put it above Leopard, but it's a very good fruit, guys. It is a very good fruit. Sand has one of the most consistent combos if you hit that 2 skill that captures them in that little prison thing. I've seen so many dirty CDK one-shot combos. I've seen so many God, Human, Sanguine, whatever, you name it. The fruit works with a lot of stuff. It's just a matter of fact if you can hit that 2 skill. Or maybe it's the 3 skill. I'm pretty sure it's the 2 skill, but sand skill ceiling is basically, I feel like it's infinite. I've seen some super good players using this fruit and doing great with it. I also love that it's lore accurate, and in water it dies 2 times faster because obviously Luffy beat Crocodile and Alabasta with water. Sorry for the spoilers, but that episode is older than me, so if you haven't seen that, that's I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, there's not really much to it. Sand is just a really good fruit, and if you get good with it, it can pay off in the long run. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think sand is beating like probably Mammoth transformed because it's super annoying, and I don't think Mammoth gets stunned by the 2 skill. That's the only reason, but everything below it, sand can slam if you're good with it. At least I know my sand can. But yeah, moving on. Shadow. Okay. Shadow's okay. I'd put it probably, yeah, I put it above Buddha. I've seen some really disgusting Shadow Yama combo, and it's just a good fruit. I mean, I don't know. I think it was Yama. I don't think it was Tushita. It could be. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But in my opinion, I think Shadow's like an okay for PvP. Obviously, it's okay in the meta, but within its own respective category, I feel like it is pretty good. So if you're good at the game, you can make it work. If you're good at the game, you can make anything work. But Shadow is actually a pretty decent fruit. You guys should give it a chance if you don't have it already. Okay, now moving on to Smoke. Smoke is trash. We're not even going to go there. It just isn't that good for PvP. Let's just be real. Most of these fruits are just like bleh. But you know what? Let me just get the bad ones out of the way. I feel like there's really no explanation for it. The only reason I have Spike up here is because of that one move that's similar to Buzzcut. I know it's a meme move, but it's actually surprisingly good, believe it or not. You know what, let me do this. Okay, yeah, I like how this looks. Okay, moving on to sound. So in a 1v1 scenario, or see, in a team fight, if it's like a 6v6, sound is very good because it amplifies with the amount of teammates you have, and it's like, it's good. But in a 1v1, the fruit is super underwhelming. I'm gonna put it below Paw. It is not good for ones or PvP. The moves are just, like I said, underwhelming. Don't do a ton of damage. The combo is not really that good. And yeah, that's that. Moving on to Spider though. Spider's actually surprisingly a good fruit for PvP. I'm going to put it in between Shadow and Buddha because I feel like it's better than Buddha, but I don't think it's as consistent as Shadow. Now, Spider Fully Awakened does have some pretty nice stuff. It has decent movement. Birdcage is nice, but you typically do want to leave that 3 skill unawakened just because of the range on the sniper, and it's just a better move overall. Helps with combos, and it's a combo ender. I know you can combo extend into it sometimes, but mostly used as a combo ender. There's not really much to say about Spider. It's an okay fruit. It's not bad at all. Pretty underrated in my opinion. Okay, moving on to Soul. Soul is... Soul's a good fruit. Soul is actually a good fruit for PvP. I know it used to be great, but the only combo I can think that really even works with Soul super well is maybe God, Human, Spiky Trident. And that can be said with a lot of fruits, but it particularly works well with Soul. Soul is a very unique fruit. I like the heal, movement speed, poison, stun aspect of the fruit. I like the nice spirits and the bad ones. I think the fruit actually was, believe it or not, probably one of the best fruits visually and in depth in the game, just because it has all those unique moves and whatnot. At its time when it came out, Soul was definitely very good. Yeah, I know it used to be called, or I shouldn't call it Soul, it's Spirit, but I know at one point I think it was called Soul. I'm not sure. It's a good fruit though. Definitely a good fruit. Moving on to Spring. We're not even going to talk about it. Not even worth discussing, to be honest. It's not that good. T-Rex. Okay, T-Rex is actually good. T-Rex is a good fruit. Now, T-Rex, not only is it good in base, it's also really good in mode. If you can alternate between the two, that's up to you. I know some people who just spam in mode, and I know some people who use Fox Lamp, God Human, Sanguine with T-Rex and combo extend pretty well with that suck move. T-Rex is definitely slept on in base. It's basically like Gas's base, but I feel like it might be a little bit better than Gas's base, but Gas's mode is just so much more overwhelmingly better that it takes a bunch of spots higher. But yeah, T-Rex is just good. Has good combo extending, good combo ending, combo starters. I don't know, but that's not what it's used for, and that's why it's at the bottom of very good, because it's a good PvP fruit. It's just good. Okay, moving on though to Venom. Venom is better than Soul, better than Spirit. I'm gonna put it in good. Venom's definitely good. The transformation is just lacking in the current meta. Why would you ever pick Venom over, say, Gas or T-Rex or even Leopard for transforming? Not to mention these three bad boys right here, but yeah. Venom's transformation is slow. The 3 skill in base is probably the worst move in the game, and the 3 skill in mode is like, in what scenario would you ever need to use that, right? Unless you're just camping in the middle of it. Think of it like this, right? You're in the middle of a war, PvP fight, whatever you want to call it, fighting at Mansion. You pop it up in that open space. Why would you ever pop that? No one's running into that. They're just gonna run away from you. I mean, I guess if you want them away from you, but that's about it. That, or if you're fighting a Mansion or Castle, there's just really no use. Any open area in general, that 3 skill just isn't really reliable, to say the least. So that's all there is to say about that. The fruit still is good though. That noxious gas stun is annoying, and when you're low health you can fly fast. That makes it pretty good for running, but other than that, Venom doesn't really have a ton to it. Moving on to the brand new fruit though, Yeti. Yeti, in my opinion, is like a worse Mammoth, but when I say worse, I mean like it's like Ice Mammoth. I don't know. It's pretty underwhelming. I mean, it definitely, I'm gonna put it above Leopard because as you guys saw in that showcase, it destroys Leopard. Not only in the animation, but it also destroys Leopard in the game as well. The fruit's pretty cool, I'll give it that. The animations are pretty lackluster. And the damage is pretty underwhelming in my opinion. It just doesn't have a ton of combos, ton of combo potential. I definitely think it's worse than Gas, but it's okay, I guess. I mean, nothing too crazy. It's very good for it being a mythic, but in general, overall, I just don't see why anyone would want to use Yeti, really. Okay, moving on. Obviously, you guys knew this was going up here, right? Dragon is busted. Busted. Now, we're talking about the East version first. This fruit doesn't have a ton of movement, has great AoE, great damage, and it's good. It's pretty good for everything. Great for grinding, great for farming. It's a nasty fruit, bro. It is a nasty fruit, to be honest. If you're not using East, West Dragon, or Portal, you might as well not even come out of the safe zone to PvP, because if you're fighting someone with those, it's going to be very frustrating. Portal is actually a lot more doable than the dragons, but you gotta fly all the way up there, you gotta go fight them, then they'll hit you down with either the claw or the, like, it's such a pain. But I'm not gonna discuss the East too much because it just is what it is. You guys know. I don't need to explain it to you. But obviously, no surprise, the best fruit in the game is gonna be West Dragon right now. If you guys haven't seen my videos about me PvPing with it, it is so broken. Like, so broken. So broken. Literally, you can fly at 100 miles an hour. It's the fastest fruit in the game. It's one of the most damage-dealing fruits in the game. one of the best AoE fruits in the game. The fruit is just so stupidly unfair. If you don't have the fruit, don't try fighting it, because you're not going to have a good time and you're going to want to stop playing Blox fruits. Dragon is just too overwhelming. It hurts every time when you fight it. Luckily, I have been using it a ton. I have been dragon spamming lately, I'm not going to lie. That's all I gotta say about Dragon. We all know this is how the tier list was gonna go, with these being at the top. I was gonna make a separate tier list just for Dragon, or a separate category just for Dragon, but I feel like since Portal can actually combat Dragon, believe it or not, by getting up there, you can get them in with your V move, you can use your Soul Guitar, you can just basically stun the Dragon until they're forced to demode, and then Dragon base is useless. But I mean, Portal can run from it really well. That's the only reason I have it like anywhere near it. Because to be honest with you guys, Dragon is like, yes, Dragon is that much better than Portal. The vast difference between these two is like uncomparable. Although I feel like Portal probably does destroy East, it doesn't destroy West. West is like in a league of its own. I should just make a tier called West Dragon, to be honest. And if you guys did want to see my tier list with Kit in it, this is where I would put Kit. Because Kit is basically like Leo on steroids. I already gave you guys my explanation for Kit. Very good in the meta. Just can't really compete with Dragon. I feel like though Portal is superior to it just due to the movement, the escape abilities, and whatnot. But yeah, Kit is still really good. Yeah, this is my final tier list with Kit below Portal, of course. If you guys do enjoy this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments. And I want to know what you guys agree with and disagree with. I appreciate all types of feedback, positive and negative, so feel free to speak your mind in the comments. I definitely don't get offended about anything. I take all criticism as improvement, so really, tell me whatever you guys think. It actually really helps me. Feel free to join my Discord server, link in the description, or just DM me. And my user is just donniesocomp. I also have that in the description. Other than that, though, again, I hope you guys had a great Christmas. I hope you have, in case I don't upload again before New Year's Eve or New Year's, I hope you guys also have a great New Year's, and have a great rest of your day, guys. See ya.